township has looked at as to be a profit-making thing. It was, again, an accommodation, and it's been popular over the years, and it's...
They do a great job. They really do.
Have we identified, now from what I've heard is there was a drop in attendance this year, or enrollment. Have we identified the reasoning behind that? Is it just the population, or is it, was there something that drove them, was there somewhere else that was more appealing?
I really cannot answer that.
I mean, is it just a slight dip in the average enrollment? Will next year go back up?
I know in talking to Mr. King, he said that the enrollment up at the school was from 80 to 54. And then he was concerned because even the Mayfield building was, I think, down to 30. So typically Lakeland had
when you say that 80 to 54, that's 80 to 54.
the kindergarten class moving in.
Okay.
So like, you know, when me and you graduated, we had 154. I don't know what you had, Ed, but
180 some, I believe.
and then 168 was a couple of years ago, and we typically range around 128 or something in that, and with higher numbers. And so that could be it. I mean, 80 kids.
I just don't know if it's
You know?
an extraneous year where it's going to be low, but the next year it'll go back up to more of a...
It varies. It seems like it varies.
Do we have an average?
Every year
I mean,
it varies. We've had some good years and we had some bad years.
Yeah.
We're trying to be proactive, so this doesn't happen.
I mean, obviously you can't predict people's children and what ages they're going to be and how many they're going to... I mean, it's impossible, but...
We want to see next year in August, we have
I just want to identify if there's
40
actually,
kids.
if there's a reason outside of the population, like a better preschool opened up down the street that it's cheaper and, you know, there's no specific.
I believe there was price comparisons done, and they say we are in the ballpark.
Okay.
We're not high, we're not low.
All right.
We're competitive. Yes, please just state your name.
Tanya Matichak. I just have a question with the preschool. What if you said 17 kids now? 18? What is the cutoff, like, if people can't make the difference of what you're doing? Like, I mean, are you going to then pull it at the end of the year, or do you have...
Well, with the tuition rates, you're not going to cancel it, right?
It's going to run.
Right now, it's going to follow through the year.
So it's going to follow through, like, what if...
What about next year? Are you going to keep the same tuition level, or will it pay for itself?
We have to look at the enrollment at that point.
I'm saying, like, as of now, say that 5 kids get pulled out because parents don't want to pay the extra or can't or whatever, what happens then? Like, are you going to stop in December?
I have a promise from a local business of a $1,000 donation to the preschool, well, the township, to help the preschool. I do not have that in my hands yet. However, if we do lose 1 or 2, hopefully that $1,000 is on the side, and on the side for the preschool, if that is needed.
But then once again, the kids suffer because they lose because say a parent can't keep the kid because they can't pay the rate. So then, say if it was my kid would lose out of the program because I can't. But you guys are going to gain the 1,000, but my kid's not going to benefit from it. So I'm going to have to pull my kid out, but you guys are still going to benefit.
We're not getting
$1,000.
That money is still going to be aside for the preschool. If we happen to lose 1 or 2 children, that the preschool continue to run and follow out through the year.
Insurance.
When was the last time the tuition was raised?
I couldn't.
It was this year.
This year.
So from what to what was it raised, did you remember?
It was 420 to 535 this year.
No.
No,
She's
before
talking
this,
before that.
before this
There
recent
must have
one.
been a raise before that.
No, there was a raise this year.
Last year.
She's not understanding.
Going into the beginning of last year, I think there is.
I don't have those numbers right offhand, but I'm
Are
sure.
they going to give us like a sheet one of these days stating, like, I mean, right now we pay $202 per month, what it's going to be?
Are you in the 4 day?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow.
You
Or
should.
3 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
You should you'll have it tomorrow.
Okay.
Pam has it, Pam will have everything all.
$23 for 2 days. I know that because that's my.
And she has a form which we were given with all new rates.
Hey, you check this, you check this, you sure this is right?
No.
I checked it, Pam checked it.
Okay. What's gonna happen is, that doesn't say that it's days. It's gonna be 2 day, 3 day.
week.
Your 2-day, 2.5-hour program is going up $575 per week. Your 3-day, 4 hours a day is going up $1380 per week, and your 3-day, 2.5-hour is going up $683 per week.
$863.
$863 per week. Based on the new rates.
13 something for the 3-day, 4 hours?
3 days, 4 hours, yes.
It's $1380 per week.
It's really easy to figure out. Right now, it's, what you're paying is based on $4.20 an hour, okay? So that's $4.20 an hour. Add $1.15 an hour to it, that's what you're paying.
But Dave, what the question really was, like, I don't think you're really understanding what I was trying to get at. What I was saying that, say if there's a family in the township that, like, they're paying $202 right now for the 3-day program for the 4, and it's going up to $257 per month. Well, what happens if I say, well, I can't pay the $257? I have to pull my kid out. But yeah, the difference is going to be made up with that $1,000 that a business did, but that was donated. But a kid's going to suffer because I can't. I
But
can
it's the
afford it
program
for
in
somebody.
general.
Please,
Yeah.
please don't take this the wrong way. Yes, that's probably what would happen, and I agree with a child will.
I mean, why can't that $1,000 be used toward to help that family pay?
How we
No, we can't.
Because then you're picking and choosing who's going to get to it.
Why can't it just be taken off of the fee that we're all being raised? I mean, I know it's not a lot, but...
We don't have a grant program if that's what you're
Oh.
looking
Yeah.
at.
Right.
We don't.
Okay.
How was the money designated, Dave? Was there a stipulation on it? Was it, did you get a promise? Did he ask for it to just go to the general fund or to a specific aspect of the?
I requested it to help the preschool.
So if no one drops out, does it just go towards next year, or does it return?
It'll stay right there for the preschool for next year.
And what happens if the insurance drops? You're getting a separate insurance bid specifically for the preschool. If that is below what you were paying last year, will that money that you would have put out also go
Then-
towards the preschool, or would
But
that
that's
just
not-
go to the
that's not gonna-
general
That's not
fund?
gonna happen until January, okay?
Yeah, but
And
with
then we
that-
can look at it again, and if we could lower it maybe at 15, 20 cents, if it drops, then by all means.
So you'll take the money that's saved out of the insurance and then try and put that towards the tuition? Or that'll be put into the fund with $1,000 to,
It would be included in the expenditures of the preschool. If it goes lower,
Okay.
and it's my opinion, I don't know what the rest of the board would do, but if we could lower it, I would definitely lower it at that point. Absolutely. Anybody else? I just want everybody to understand, I mean, this board just could not justify $8,000 from December to January or less, with 7 children being out of the townships. If all the kids lived in the township, then maybe I take the risk and say, you know what, it's a service we're providing to our community. There's 7 out of those 18 children that do not live in this community, and I
But they
can't
still
have
go to Lakeland,
the
right?
taxpayers of this community funding outside children. And
But
it's
those,
not-
the kids that are coming that are not the township still go to Lakeland though? When it's,
Yes and no. We have, I believe, a child or 2 from Mayfield. We have 2 from Archibald, and I believe 1 from Blakely, and a bunch of them from Greenfield Township.
Just got to promote and get to it, or get the numbers up.
That's the bottom.
That's the easy answer.
Anything else? Yes.
Different topic.
Please just state your name and for the
Okay,
record.
Irene Thomas. I was wondering on the grant for the tech park, is there any kind of timetable on that?
I don't think that's going to be we won't know until probably January, I believe.
It's being reviewed now, I suppose, the girl that's reviewing it, even over, we have tweaked some things that, then they lost our check. Sent that back out again, and they are reviewing them now. I believe the official review was done in December, that's when they awarded it, so I don't know.
And you don't know where exactly it's gonna run or anything? And so, yeah,
Pretty much do.
Pretty much have a good idea.
where
yes.
would that be?
Actually gonna come across the baseball fields, down the Township Road, to a certain point, due to the elevations of the current pump station, we're gonna have to come down through, a field and across the creek and into our baseball field at the pump station.
So everyone's not gonna have to hook up?
Not everybody on that road will be affected, no.
Where about would it go down? Do you know, have an idea before
I
buses?
believe it's going to be right around
Butsy's.
Butsy's Green's, right in that
Right in
area.
that area, right by Woodrow Driveway somewhere.
And
Oh, okay. Somewhere there.
Yes.
That's what we're looking at right now.
And it was designed that way, it had to be designed that way because of the elevation and the lay of the land. Or else we would have came down.
So you'll let the township know whenever, or just by coming to the meetings?
I mean, that's gonna be a great savings to township if we get that, put that line in. You know, that sewer plant right now is a time bomb ready to go out. It's old, you know.
And do they currently pay, I mean, for their sewer?
Built into their water bill, I believe, up there. But, you know, we're also looking to maybe get rid of that water system, so that'll make things.
Yes, Ms. Hughes.
Thank you. May I ask another question relating to the preschool?
Sure.
If someone makes a donation for the purpose of the preschool, is it tax deductible, Mr. Finucci?
I'm sorry, Claire, would you repeat that, please? I apologize. Who's showing me something?
That's all right. A deduction that, or a donation that is made specifically for the preschool, is that tax deductible?
Nonprofit organization, right?
I believe any donation to the township would be tax
That would be
deductible.
something
Yeah,
that
I
one-
believe it would be,
right.
yeah.
Would it be possible, being that the preschool is in such dire need of monies at this time, is it possible to make an announcement at each following board meeting, township board meeting, to announce that if anyone would like to make a donation to the preschool, they would be accepted at the office that, you know, to do so? My philosophy is it never hurts to ask. You never know if there's a retired school teacher, former preschool director who may be interested in this, like, it is a subsidy of the township, for, you know, you are funding it, so, would that be reasonable to do?
It's your call. Something
If it's
that's
legal, I don't have a
I
problem.
wouldn't have a problem with it.
Thank you.
People are free to donate, any municipal body, the school, the township, and often do.
One quick, I'll make it quick. How much of the school's budget is taken from tuition versus what the township contributes?
Right now, if we didn't do what we had done, it would have been, the township would have been contributing
$8,316.
Right, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, if the township didn't put any money in and it was only the tuitions, what would the numbers be?
They would have lost $8,316.
Oh, so everything that's there now, there's
It's
nothing,
being funded by the tuition.
right, but the taxpayers aren't paying for the school at all.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So everything is, it's self-sustainable minus that $8,100.
No, with this changes now, it is also self-sustainable.
Okay, you made it sound like it was being subsidized by the township, but it's not.
It's been for the
It's
past
been
several years.
5-6
Okay,
years.
all right. So the taxpayers at one point were covering
Yes,
part of that?
yes.
Okay.
Anybody else in the public comment? Hearing none, get a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Oh,